G'day, legends. It's Jai, that Aussie Metal Guy here. Before we get stuck into another great interview brought to you by Crannk.com and thatmetalstation.com, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and that way you can keep up to date with all the best music and interviews from all over the world. Hey, how you all going? It's Jai, that Aussie Metal Guy here with Crannk.com and with thatmetalstation.com. Tonight, wherever you are in the world, I'm chatting with one half of stoner, doom, metal, fuzz, whatever you call it. It's bloody awesome band, Coma Hole. I got Eryka, vocalist and bassist, who are due to release their debut self-titled EP April 22nd. They've already released a couple of tracks off it, Old Climb and Wind and Bone. Eryka, cheers for joining me.
Thank you so much for having us. I'm very excited to be here. It's very nice to meet you. Excited to talk about this release and the band.
Yeah, well, it seems like it's been a few years in the making. Can you tell me first off, how did this project all become about? Where did Coma Hole begin from?
So okay.
The joys of internet. So as I was just saying, can you tell me a little bit about the beginning of Coma Hole and kind of where all this began from?
Yeah, so I want to say back in December of 2018 is when we actually finally started practicing and playing together. But I have known Steve a very long time. We've been friends, have had lots of mutual musical friends. And he's always been in a bunch of projects, and I always wanted to do music. Didn't really line up for a very long time, but like 3 or 4 years ago, I finally decided to get serious about forming a band. And so I, tried jamming with some people and working stuff out. After a bunch of attempts at that and it going nowhere, then I decided to hit up Steve again, because I hit him up throughout the years and was like, hey, do you want to be in a band? Hey, you want to do something? You want it? And it just never, it couldn't happen. I guess the timing wasn't right. But I eventually hit him up and was like, hey, this is what I want to do. Let me know if you're interested. And so I had a bunch of skeletons of songs already kind of like structured out, and I just sent him a bunch of recordings, and we jammed together, and I was like, so how do you feel about doing this? And he was like, all right, let's do it. And so now here we are a few years later and have an album coming out finally, and it's very exciting.
So what was it like? As you said, you had some bones there of some tracks that you should make on. What was working on, pardon me, what was it like when you finally got Steve on board and you were like, okay, then let's get serious about this? Did you have an idea of what tracks you wanted to go through, or was it a matter of just getting in there with Steve, playing some tracks, letting him put his touch on it as well, and kind of going from there?
So with this album, I had all of these, sorry, something is flying around me, but I had pretty much all these songs already written out or structured out, just like, rhythmically with the bass, and I write the lyrics and vocal melodies and stuff, but I pretty much already had all these ready to go. Or maybe when we started playing, I had like 2, and then like we kind of worked on those, and then in my downtime, like I would sit and write, and then we would just I'd send it to him and be like, all right, just put this in your brain for next practice. And then we'd get together and, tweak things here and there. He'd put his, percussive touch on it or suggest certain alterations to it, and we test them out and then be like, yes, or like, no. But yeah, it's pretty much, that's kind of how we still work. Yep. But I had a lot of this stuff ready to go and was just like, I need a drummer, and I want somebody that I can go and book shows with, and I just want to begin this project already.
Yeah, it's got a really great sound with you on the bass there and the vocals, and then Steve on the drums as a 2-piece. I've heard a few bands like that now that are doing this without a guitarist as well, and it just not lacking a single thing. I didn't listen to that EP at once and go, oh man, you need a guitarist in this. It just had this sound that was unique to what she's going with as well.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. And with this album, it was a learning process, and we have plenty of ideas and things that we want to incorporate, like on the next release. You learn a lot. It's still, I'm really happy with the way it sounds so full too. But you also, when you perform too, you figure out kind of like how to present that dynamic live too. Yeah. So But yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad that you really enjoy it. We try to, make up for that lack of an instrument as much as possible.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't feel like a lack of an instrument, that's for sure, on the EP. I can tell you that. Can you tell me about the first track, The Familiar? Like, I love listening to I love all metal, but like when I get immersed in a long track, an epic track, like that starts out 11:42 and kind of sets the tone of the EP. Can you tell me about that first track on the EP as well?
So I think that was the first song that I wrote for the album.
Yep.
So I'm originally a guitarist. So I started playing guitar at 11, and then once I started getting serious about forming a band, and I was trying to play guitar and sing, I realized I didn't like doing that.
Yep.
So then I switched to bass, and when I started teaching myself bass, that was like the first, I feel like, bass line I came up with. And
Yep.
then, like, if you go back in my Instagram from like the very beginning when I pick up a bass, like sometimes I go back and I look and like I kind of see how I'm still kind of like clumsy with it, and like it sounds way different than like what it is now. And
Yep.
so that was probably the first idea I had. And then, then too, I was super into writing long epic songs, and this whole like take everybody on a journey kind of thing. And so yeah, that song is, the whole album kind of deals with my issues with like identity and depression and stuff like that. And often, I don't know, creatively and in any other aspect of my life too, sometimes I feel this, that rival force within yourself is trying to drag you down all the time. And that's kind of what that song's about. Like, my old familiar that's always like clinging at my side. It's like that demon, to be generic about it, but you're trying to just like push through and do your thing, and you always have this other half of you that's just like, but is this enough, and are you doing enough, and like, you're an imposter. And it's just the song, I tried to encapsulate that feeling of like, dude, just like, I just want to like I want to kill this force within me, like,
Yeah.
just get the fuck out, like leave me alone, like I'm just trying my best here, like stop dragging me down. And so
This
I
nagging,
tried to,
doubting voice.
yeah, exactly. So that's kind of like what that song is about. And then as it kind of goes on, that aggression kind of comes out in the end at that like really slow kind of like sleazy bit where I get all like, I scream and I'm just like, I want you dead. Like, just get the fuck out of my head. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's that's what it's about, just being frustrated with yourself.
Yeah, that's it. And it also, I think I read somewhere that it was kind of like the inspiration for you for the cover art, because you do the art for this as well. You've done the art for the couple of singles, The Old Time and The Winded Bone. It's just some really, really cool artwork. And you do the art,
Thank you.
of course, for the cover. And it said, I believe I read that it was the inspiration for you for the cover art as well, that track.
Yes. I think like while we were working on that song, I was working on the album art like years ago. I like sketched something up. I didn't even finish it, but I still have the sketch.
Yep.
And yeah, it's like that duality in yourself. And I love incorporating nature in all my art and music too. And I like using like bright colors to contrast like that morbidity at
Yep.
the same time. It's almost like psychedelic. And yeah, it's supposed to represent that kind of split self, or like the human half is kind of looking like just like this glazed over, like expressionless, face. And then you have like the skeletal, like kind of siphoning all the energy is what I was trying to,
To go for.
replicate on the cover.
Yeah. It came out unreal. I want to ask though, you were talking about bass there, and that you got into it and taught yourself, and you're looking back. What was the inspiration for you to pick up the bass? How did you get into this all? With that side of things?
It's weird when like you're playing an instrument forever and you're just like, I guess that's just like the instrument I do.
Yeah.
And I never thought like I could just like pick up another one. Like, you don't have to just do this. Like, it sounds so silly, but I kind of had that turning point in my head. And I have a lot of friends too who are in bands, and in bands that I find inspiring. And I didn't realize just how many people who are front people singing, if they have an instrument, a lot of them are bassists, because it's just it's fundamentally easier to do too. I mean, not always. There's bands that, they're doing insane shit while they're also singing, like slapping and going up and down the neck and stuff. But They have like Primus and shit like that, but, which I can't even imagine doing. Maybe one day, but yeah, I didn't realize too how much of the music that inspires me. I feel like when listening to it, what really inspired me was the rhythm and the bass in it, and like all the feel and the groove. Like I just naturally picked up a guitar and was like, that's my instrument. I identify with this. But honestly, picking up a bass, I feel like was the best decision I made for myself. Like it resonates with me so much more. Like
Yeah.
as an instrument, I feel like it helped me understand music and writing music. And I'm happy that something in me was just like, dude, just buy a bass, just do
Yeah.
it, just try it. And now it just feels natural.
Yeah, and it must be great to be able to finally have this band together and express yourself musically, especially after the last couple of years too. Just being able to get some music out and also play live. I've noticed you had a couple of live performances as well. I believe I think it was April 7th or something like that. How's it been over there playing live again for you guys?
It feels, it's like I feel like some people are still with the COVID stuff and everything still iffy on going out
Yeah,
and feel weird. But I mean it also feels like it's kind of back to normal in a way. Like
yeah,
it's nice to be on stage and playing, and you know, every show we've played, everybody's like super cool and nobody's like freaking out about any of that stuff. It's I'm sure there's still areas, like if we lived in more like dense city areas, maybe it would be a little different. But up here in like Rhode Island and Connecticut, like people kind of are just like, whatever. Like let's just get back to normal already. So yeah,
that's
no,
kind of what
it's
it's
been
like
awesome.
here in Australia as well. It's
Yeah,
we've just dropped the mask mandates in South Australia here, and bands have been coming back again, which is good. We can sing and dance and get up on bloody, the mosh out and that now, which is really cool. So I'm international borders have opened again, so I'm feeling the same sort of optimism going forward with the music scene in general. Like I'm hoping all over the world we have this influx of metalheads just keen to support their, not only the international bands coming to the country, but their local scenes as well, the underground scene, the blood and bones of the scene.
yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell
No,
me about?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I was gonna say I'm excited. I'm excited that it feels like things are finally kind of like
getting there.
approaching normal with, live events and stuff like that. Like we have some festivals we're playing, and it's festivals I remember seeing postponed over and over and over again because of COVID, and now it's like I'm not seeing as many things being postponed and rescheduled. So it's nice to feel like we're headed back that direction.
It is nice. Can I ask about the last track, Sinking? Because as I said, I really like these long, epic tracks. Can you tell me about that one? That one ends the I know I said EP a couple of times, but it's like 30 bloody minutes, man. You buy an
Yeah, it's
album for
like an
that,
album,
isn't it? It's funny. I talked to another guy like this, and he had this album. He's like, man, why would you think it's an EP? It's the same thing. I'm like, you're right. It's an album, dude. When I don't know, you buy an album for 30 minutes. I don't know. It's for me, sometimes I feel, how do you feel about that when people go, oh, EP, or it's like, man, that's like 30 bloody minutes, over 30 minutes.
I don't know. I guess technically because of the length, it is an album. I just
Yeah.
always like, I don't know. I figured like, oh, it's like 4 songs. It's like our first release. So you call it an EP, right? Like, and I don't know. People use those terms interchangeably too. So I'm just kind of like, it's whatever. It's got music on it and it's long. Just listen
Bloody
to
good.
it.
That's all it
Call
is.
it whatever you want.
Exactly. Put it in the stereo and turn it up really loud. It does drop April 22nd. Eryka, do you have any last words, shout outs, or thank yous you'd like to add in there?
I mean, thank you to Steve for doing this project with me and believing that it can be a thing that we're going to do and hopefully keep on doing. And yeah, and thank you. I will shout out where we recorded it. It was in Philadelphia at Redwater Recording Studio, which is our friends in Heavy Temple. They recorded their last album. The drummer in that band, Will, he recorded their album, and I've made really great friends with them over the years. I'm really good friends with Elise, and when we were talking about recording this album, he was like, I could record you guys. And so then we went down there, and they were just super fucking awesome. They're great people, super talented, and I'm beyond happy with the production and what came out. You know, it was just a fantastic experience. And as my first official recording experience, I was just super comfortable and just, you know, thank you guys for helping this finally be born. You know, well, like, I'm so stoked that next week we finally get to give this to everybody, because it's been a long time. COVID, you know, postponed stuff too. We were supposed to have this done like last year and it just didn't happen. But yeah, thank you guys. And, you know, thank you everybody who supports us and has supported us. Like, it just means a lot to finally have this doing something.
Awesome. Coma Hole, the debut comes out April 22nd. There's already the 2 singles, Old Climb, Wind and Bone. Everyone grab it, put it in the stereos. There's also some shirts up there, I believe, are sold out. But if they've sold out, they might drop some more if you go buy some albums. Stereos. Thank you very much, Eryka. You have a lovely evening.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Cheers, mate.